Marcel, okay, here, and then Bob McGoffin.
Good evening.
Good evening, Governor. I have a question about Common Core.
Sure.
I know that 45 states have accepted Common Core and 4 or 5 states have not. And a couple of states are rethinking. I'm wondering, I understand that Connecticut has not gotten any money from the government for accepting Common Core, is that correct?
I don't know what exactly that.
Well, it's to, Common Core, as I understand it, is to replace No Child Left Behind.
Okay. That's not.
Money situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what Common Core is, and your description of it is not exactly right. Let me just address
States that
Common Core.
accepted it were supposed to receive money from the government.
Right. Let me say this, that what we're looking to do in Connecticut is to be in a position to be compared with other states so that we know how well we're doing on a national basis. We watched the United States slip in standings on an international basis. Quite frankly, I think our goal should be to recover in those areas. The Common Core really is an educational plan that digs deeper on fewer subjects so that we actually graduate from high school young people who can use the knowledge and the skill set to a higher degree. And that's what the Common Core is about. It actually was started by the National Governors Association, was adopted by my predecessor in 2009, I believe. Some districts, Norwalk being one of them, have done a lot of work on Common Core already. I'll give you, for instance, one of the things that I asked, I don't know, about 6 months ago, was that we not require 2 tests in the state of Connecticut, which would be our traditional No Child Left Behind version of the test and the Common Core test. So I said, districts, you make a choice, because I don't want to make anyone have to give both. Interestingly enough, 70% of the districts who had the option of staying with the state test or going to the Common Core test went to the Common Core test. So I think that there's a fair amount of support for Common Core amongst the district leaders in the state of Connecticut, but I think there's a reality that anything that's new is scary. Change is difficult, but the precepts are the fundamentals of Common Core that you should have deeper knowledge of the subject matter. I think makes a lot of sense.
What about the money that the government is supposed to give all the states that accepted Common Core? I understand we're not receiving any.
I'm not sure I follow you on that. So if you want to send me some information on it, I'm happy to look into what you're talking about and get you a specific answer on it. A Common Core didn't start as a funding program. It started as a national standards program. So let me explain that to you. Right now, we have a state exam that has been administered under No Child Left Behind. But every state had a different test. And there was no way to measure how kids in Connecticut are doing as compared to kids in Mississippi, or how kids in Bridgeport are doing compared to kids in Chicago. So apparently the governors at the time, I was not one of the governors at the time, came together and decided that a universal across-the-board test would be helpful. It would hold everybody to the same standard and presumably would drive achievement in the same direction. It being closely tied to additional funding is not something that I'm familiar with as I stand before you, but I'm happy to share some information. I got some folks who work for me, and if you want to give them your card, or they'll give you their card, and you can communicate with me on it directly. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.